Hey, what's going on guys? It's Adela, and today we're going to be talking about what is wrong with the League of Legends solo queue, or duo queue, or dynamic queue, or whatever you want to call it right now. It's sort of in a weird state of limbo because they're planning on changing it for the next season. So I just wanted to sort of express my thoughts on the position that solo queue is in right now, and see if anyone else feels the same way. I also want to, provide a few options that I think could be the solution. With that being said, guys, sit back, relax, and let's get right into the video. Anyways, League of Legends is the game we all know and love, but there are some obvious problems with the game mechanics. The main one being that role placement in high tier ranked queue doesn't really work very well. So in lower ratings where there's an abundance of players, their role system where you get to choose your primary role and secondary role works great, and there's no autofill in that rating because there's so many players. But as you get to the higher tiers of rating, the matches basically become determined by whoever gets the team with more people in their role. There is little to no variation on skill unless it's an evenly matched team where both teams get all their roles. So instead of being League of Legends, a battle of gameplay, skill, game mechanics, and wit, it ends up being League of Autofill. Every time you hit that play button in high rating, it feels like a gamble. You pray to God that you get your role, and you hope that someone on your team didn't get autofilled and ends up feeding. Towards the end of the season, Riot implemented a mechanic where you cannot be autofilled if you've recently been autofilled before. So basically, if you got autofilled once, for the next 3 games you're allowed to play one of your roles without getting autofilled. Which sounds great. I mean, gee, thank you so much. Like, we actually get to play the roles we picked in the game we're deciding to play. Dude, that's so awesome. But how it ends up being is basically after you play your 3 games, there's a very high chance you're going to get autofilled again. And it's basically a never-ending cycle of autofills where you have random people playing what they're not comfortable at, and most of the time end up flaming and losing. Now, this would probably be fine if League of Legends had a positive community that knows how to adapt to their situations, but a lot of players end up tilting and going on tilt streaks, like those Yasuo one-tricks that play Yasuo no matter what role they get, and they end up tilting their other teammates, and it's this huge cycle of just not getting your roles, becoming angry, throwing games. And it's pretty ridiculous. If you look at the statistics, in Diamond 3 and above, there's an autofilled player every 3 games on one of the teams. And I don't have statistics for win ratios based on these autofills, but I am willing to bet you anything that the team that has the autofill has a much lower win rate than the team that has the people that got all their roles. I don't want to be the angry guy that goes on a rant without providing a solution. I mean, obviously I don't work at Riot, so I can't provide a solution. But I'm sure players would rather endure longer queue times rather than playing with people that don't have their roles and end up tilting into oblivion. I would rather wait a little bit longer to play a game where everyone got their roles so it could be based on skill and enjoyable and actually be a close game. Believe it or not, the majority of games in higher elo are actually incredibly one-sided. Hardly ever do I play a game and it's actually close when I'm playing above Diamond 2. We either stomp the enemy team or we get stomped. There's no middle ground. It just depends on who got the autofilled player that ends up tilting. Maybe once every 10 games we'll have a long, exciting game that actually is based on skill and making plays. But what really sucks about autofill is for those proactive players like myself that decide to give up a role for someone else when they're uncomfortable in their role. Nothing in this game makes me more annoyed than when I give up a role for someone for them to perform well so they don't feed in their role. But they end up feeding anyways. And I'm unable to carry the game because I already gave up my role. Once again, I don't know the permanent solution for this. I kinda just wanted to throw my feelings out there because it's sort of hard to push rating when the majority of your games are sort of based on luck. I mean, I don't know, this is just how I feel. If you feel similarly, please let me know in the comments below. We do know that Riot is going to be trying to attack these problems head on with Season 7 as they've released their new ideas for the ranked solo queue. So hopefully these problems get fixed in the future. That's it for today, guys. Just a short and sweet video. I'm going to be doing a full informative guide for my next video, so comment down below what champion you would like to see me do the guide on. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a like. If you want to see more stuff like this in the future, feel free to subscribe. Anyways guys, this is Adela, and I'll see you in the next video.
Let's be friends forever.
Dude diddly donger cookerino!